Hey guys, it's Victoria here. Today I want to do a quick video on the TDI. I do get a lot of questions about it, and hopefully I can clear them up. I'd love to use this TDI on my chart and on my phone. I do have this available to anyone who wants it. There's so many different TDIs that I've seen, but the original TDI is from a gentleman by the name of Dean. Let me see. His last name, he's from Compass FX. So if you go to Compass FX, you'll be able to buy the original TDI. Let me try to Google him really quickly because I want to make sure I get his full name right. No, it's Dean Malone. Yes, check him out. There's a lot of amazing videos on YouTube. That's how I found out about the TDI. Someone was doing a video about it, but they didn't go into really depth about what all this other stuff meant, right? But once I found that out, I was like, okay, wow, this is an incredible indicator, guys. So TDI stands for Traders Dynamic Index. Okay, so today I'm just going to hopefully cover some pointers, things that I use it for, and hopefully it'll help you in your trading. So we have the Gcash dash here. I'm looking at the Aussie yen, okay, for this example. I want you guys to note that this pair, if you're not aware about golden crosses and death crosses, the golden crosses typically when all the EMAs cross together. When this happens, it's very difficult to count your levels using the EMAs, right? Because you can see they're all down, right? So what you're going to be looking for here, you can swing this trade going short, or you can wait for the pullbacks against the EMAs and then take your trades that way. For me personally, my personality, I don't like to hold trades too much. Sometimes I may hold it from one session to the other, and then I'll exit on the next session when I see that the pullback is coming in. That's just my style of trading. A lot of people like to sit through all that, draw down, and make it through the whole cycle. But that's just, for me, it's just not my personality. Okay, so let's talk about it, right? So the green line here that you see, this is your, what is it? Your price, your normal current price sentiment. Okay, the red one is your trade signal line. So when the green and the red cross, right, particularly at the high here, right? You see this blue line here is the volatility bands. When they cross at the right time of the market, that is a signal, guys, for you to go in. So I also want you to look at price. Sometimes also, if you can't see what price is doing, always come down to the TDI and see what is the TDI doing, right? You have a nice shark fin here. This is an in and out scenario. So in and out, meaning this thing is getting it's building an anchor, if you will, or a slingshot to drop, right? And if you look at price, this is your London pattern, your type 1 London pattern, where your first leg is here and then your second leg, and this is the second leg that you would take, right? And it's beautiful because it's right, almost tapped the 200, but not quite, right? So that would be your entry. Now, if you have I'm going to add the 5. I don't have the 5 on my chart, but I'm going to add it here. So I want you guys to see the 5 and 13 cross, as you can see here. That oftentimes, more often than not, will line right up with the TDI trade signal line. You see that? So that is your entry, okay? That is totally your entry. Once another important thing here, you're looking for this to separate. You're looking for the bands to expand, and you're looking for the RSI lines to be separate and not all together squiggly, like right here, right? This is a nothing. And when you look at price, you see it's consolidating right there too, right? You want this. Once it crosses over, guys, then you're in for the money. You can hold this thing. So when it crossed, when both of them crossed, as you can see, it was the next trade session. So this would probably be a trade that I would hold from, this looks like New York, right? If I entered this thing here, I would have held this thing, right? I would have held this thing most likely, guys, until London when it starts to reverse again. Because now look at the TDI. Okay, right when the red, like it gave us, and then here's another signal. This is why this TDI is like a crystal ball. Here's another signal, guys, that this thing is about to reverse, because now, remember up here, you had the in and out, right? You had the shark fin in and out. We had the type 1. We had the second leg here. Down here, the next day on Monday, we had another in and out. And we are at the low. This line right here, this is your 30 low level line here. So this indicator, let me just pop it open. I did not change the settings here. Here we go. As you can see, the settings for the extreme high is 80, then we have 70, we have the middle 50, and then we have 30 and 20. I did not change any of that. I kept it there. I know some people like to change it to make it go to 19 or maybe 78 or something like that, but personal preference. For me, this works out just fine. But this right here was an indication that this thing is about to change. The trend is about to go. It's about to counter. Now we're already going short, right? But you're gonna counter this thing eventually, right? So here it is. So the trade signal line, right, is right here. This would have been my exit. And then from the exit, guys, this would have been, you could have waited, right? You could have totally waited for this. And you could have waited for this to cross right here, and then you could have entered right there. And it's a safe entry, because as you can see, what else do we see here, right? What else do we see here? We see some divergence, right? This is flat. You have your 1, 2, 3 taps, right? Your 3 taps are right here. You could have entered here once it crossed over. Most people would have said, you know what, I'm gonna wait till this thing closes above, right? Because now you can see, if you take this entry here, right, and you're like, you know, worried about the reversal or not, then you just look at the TDI, right? Look at it. You have the separation. This is just crossed right here. You have the separation. Yeah, it came back down. The market makers came back down, but they did not take out any of the other previous lows, right? So you just hold that thing, okay? And so this was another good hold, you know, towards the end of, this looks like New York, right? So you could have held that thing throughout Asia, and then you'd have got out here. Look, another shark fin. I forgot to write the shark fin here, but you have the RSI giving you what? Another out of the band, in the band. And then price is giving you the type 1 pattern. So we know this is a stop hunt high, and we're looking for this thing to drop. And again, beautiful, beautiful drop here, guys. And look at how it lined up nicely with the trade signal line here. And of course, the stop hunt is done, okay, right? And so we can totally enter this trade here, okay? Now this is the H1 chart, guys. You can go down to the 5 or the 15th and make your entries from there. That's perfectly okay to get a really good entry, okay? Sometimes when I come to the chart, sometimes I'll enter it right from the H1, right? But you can totally go down to the lower time frames to get a really good entry, okay? So you take this entry, right? And then you hold it until what? It can either, you can get out once it crosses, right? Or you can, however you do your trades, right? However you manage your trade, some people will only go for 20 to 30 pips and then they're out. Some people will wait for the reversal signal. Like this is a good reversal signal right here. These railroad tracks right here, which pretty much kind of line up with this RSI crossing over again, okay? Now, this one's interesting because it is giving us a W, right? It's giving us it actually printed the first leg, right? So this shark fin within within the band. It's kind of interesting because the bands are still expanded, right? They're not squeezed or anything like that just yet, but this would have been a good exit because of the railroad tracks. Okay, once you saw that on your chart. So look what happened the next day. This was actually when the peak formation, the new trend started, right, on Wednesday. So this would have been a 0 or 1 peak formation low, right? And the moment this thing crossed back over, right, this was your indication that you were going long on this, okay? Another thing I want you to notice, this is actually this is your 1. So if this was like a 0 peak formation or 1, this is actually your first day of your peak formation low. But what I want you to notice that's very, very, very important is how prices, you're looking to go long, right? Every reason to go long. You're looking at the TDI, you see that it's bouncing off of the market baseline. Okay, this is perfect because look, it's also bouncing off of the 50. This is your 50-50 trade, guys. And it's also bouncing in the average, the 50 line here within Asia. So this is another slingshot, kind of like this one, that you can take, you can ride this thing and just go long, right? All day, right? Look at the stop hunt that showed up here. This is probably around London time. And you know that this thing is still long. I mean, look how it gave a little, you can see what it does with the TDI, right? And it just kind of building your shark fin for the next day, because every time you have a 1 peak formation, low or high, the next day, you're going to look to counter that. The counters are not always going to pay out. They might be counters that happen in the time that you're not available. They're just real, they're not very pipful, right? And then when you get counters like this, right, where you have this like a mountain building up here, here's another thing you want to make note of. Now we're at the 800, right? We're at the 800. So you want to be careful here because prices may not stay, right? They may not continue and the trend might just change, right? But we know that this thing is going short. Definitely, we know it's going short because we have this shark fin at the hour. You always got to note that anytime you see, these oversold and overbought shark fins, that's basically telling you what the direction is for the next day. Okay, it's totally telling you what's going to happen the next day when you see this. That's why I say this is like a crystal ball. Okay, so now we have where the prices, TDI is just kind of up here like a mountain. That's what it looks like to me when I look at price. Like when I get to the market, this is what the time I get to the market. About this is when I'm here at the market, right? So I've already missed this, right? This to me, yes, it is a multi-session M, but it also kind of looks like a rising phoenix, right? It looks like a rising phoenix to me. So this pattern is just telling me this thing is obviously, we're still going up, right? We're right at the 2 ADR, right? This is on a Friday. So by the time I get to the market, right, I'm waiting for the reversal that's going to be happening in New York. So I wouldn't take this trade just yet. Sometimes if it looks like, like a good trade to go on in, I would take it. But this one's definitely not one that I would take late, right? I would just wait for the reversal to come in. So once the reversal comes, then, go ahead and take it, right? And I would not hold this thing either because it's Friday, right? We all know it's not a good idea to hold trades over the weekend. Sometimes they work out and sometimes they don't. So I would manage this thing. This was a good 30 pips right here. Okay, right to close. And I always use this order block as my guide too. So when I get close to it and it's getting close to the end of the day on a Friday, then I'm gonna just go ahead and take my money and call it a day and be done trading. Okay, so I hope you guys got some value from this video. So you can see how I use it, how this TDI could be your crystal ball in trading, how it matches up with the price precisely, how it helps you to enter and exit the trades, right? This is like an awesome tool to have, and I hope that you add it to your chart. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. If you want this TDI, let me know. I'll send it to you. All right. Thank you, everyone. See you at the next video. Thank you. Bye.